Can I give you the problem solving procedures paper?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and we read it, right?
It's right here.
Okay, so can somebody review what we talked about problem solving there? What's the procedure for problem solving? What do you need to do first? Let's just use a common sense. What do you do when you're given the problem? What do you do first? Read the problem. You need to understand what the problem is asking you, right? So read the problem carefully, right? And you can see the information and say, oh, this is important information, but this is not. So you need to determine which is important information for you and which is not, right? Then what do you do? With the information, you need to think about what you're gonna do to solve the problem. So you can kind of devise the plan to solve the problem, right? And then if you have the plan, either write it down or in your head, you can carry out the plan, right? So do it, solve it. And then the last step could be check the result. There are several ways to check the result. You can plug it back into original problem and see if it makes sense, right? Even before that, by just looking at the number and the context there, you can think about whether this makes sense or not. This number, well, for example, it is some number that has to be like counting people, but you got the negative number. So it doesn't make sense then, right? So you can use your common sense. A lot of times we say that it's a number sense because we're dealing with numbers, right? So using your number sense, you can see, my answer is reasonable or not, right? If you think it is not reasonable, we solve the problem. Sometimes using different way from how you solve that first, and compare them. If they are the same answer, it's probably the right answer. If they are different, you can think about different way or using the same way that you used, we solve the problem. Maybe there's a small miscalculation or something, right? So that's the 4 procedure that you need to take when you are doing problem solving. So here is the problem for you. Let me get rid of that. Can you read it? Oh, this is not the problem. This is the problem. Okay. Can you read it? Okay. Can somebody read it out loud for everybody? Where is it?
Karen plans to purchase, excuse me, sorry guys. Karen plans to purchase pizza for a party she is hosting. Pizza Corner sells medium pizza 14-inch diameter for $10 and a large pizza 17-inch diameter for $14. A medium pizza has 8 slices and a large pizza has 12 slices. Only entire pizza are sold. Assume the pizza slices are all about the same size. You want me to read the?
Yes.
A, determine the maximum number of slices of pizza that Karen can purchase for $87 or less. B, if the maximum number of slices determined in the part A is purchased in the most economical way, how much will the pizza cost?
Okay. Did you understand the question? Did you understand the question?
Yeah.
Yes? How many of you understood the question by reading it first? I didn't. So I'm going to reread it. If you understood the question, you can think about how you can solve the problem. What is it asking? And what information can I use to solve the problem, right? So I want you to start solving this problem either by rereading the question or think about your plan and carry that out, okay? First, I want you to think about what is important information for you to do. I mean, after you understand what you need to do. Okay. What are the important information? First of all, what do you need to find? You need to find the maximum number of slices of pizza or $87 or less, right? So we are considering the number of slices. Doesn't matter with the sizes, right? medium, large, it doesn't matter. We are concerned about maximum number of slices, and the price has to be 87 or less, right? And then you can think about what is the maximum number of slices for 87 or less, and what is the cheapest way to get that? How much will the pizzas cost? If you want to work with your partner, go ahead and work with the partner. In the meantime, I'm going to take a this. Okay, let me guide you a little bit. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is read the question carefully. You already did, right? You did at least twice. Make sure you understand what givens you can use. Then you can list them like this. These are the given information. So much information. Some are needed to solve the problem. Some you don't need to have them, right? So I only got important information like medium pizza costs $10. Medium pizza contains 8 slices because we are concerned about the price and number of slices here, right? And I have large pizza costs $14 and it has 12 slices. And another important information from here is only entire pizzas can be purchased. No single slices are sold, okay? Okay. And then you need to think about how to answer the question. So we need to have the purchase 87 or less. So do you have this information on your notebook? Medium pizza, $10, 8 slices. Large, $14, 12 slices. And only entire pizzas can be purchased. Using that, how about you make this table? I think this is very systematic way. This is my way. You can have different way. Okay, it's okay. But this is easier. How did I determine 6 large and 0 medium? How did I determine that it's the greatest number for large pizza? So let's consider only large pizza here. Okay. Consider only large pizza. Large pizza costs $14. And I need to have less than or equal to $87, right? So what is the maximum number of large pizza that I can have? If I have 7 large pizza, how much is that? 7 times 14, 98, which is way too much, right? How about 6 pizza? So 6 times $14. What is it? $84, which is less than $87. So 6 is the largest number of large pizza that I can have, right? So that's why I started from 6 large pizza. If I have 6 large pizza, it's $84. From $87, I have only $3 left. I cannot even buy any medium pizza because medium pizza costs $10, right? That's why I started from 6 large and 0 medium. Does it make sense? And I can decrease the number of large pizza and increase the medium pizzas. Okay, that's how I listed the number of pizzas. So it makes sense? Okay. Now using this, can you figure out number of slices? If you have 6 large pizza, how many slices does each large pizza have? 12. So 1 large pizza, 12 slices. 2 large pizza, 2 times 12 slices. For 6 large pizza, 6 times 12 slices, right? So you can figure out number of slices. If you are mixing with a medium pizza, you need to do differently. So for large pizza, You have 12 slices. For medium pizza, you have 10 slices. For example here, 5 large and 1 medium, how many slices are there? 5 times 12 slices plus 1 times. How many slices for medium? 8. 8 or 10? 8. Oh, 8. Thank you. So 1 times 8. That's how many slices. Are you following me? Okay. So you can complete that. How about the cost then? We know that 6 large pizza cost $14, right? So $14 times 6 will be the cost. How about for 5 large and 1 medium? 5 times 14 for large pizza, and how much is 1 medium pizza? Is it 10? So plus 10, that will be the cost. Can you complete this table now? Show me your thumb. Once you completed it, a lot of you. Okay, I will give you maybe 30 more seconds. One more time. Show me your thumb if you completed it. Do you need more time? So this is what you're gonna get. Do you have the same answer? We good? We good?
So for like, okay, so then you do like, for example, for 4 large and 3 medium, so then you would do like 4 times 12, and then 3 times 8, and then add them.
Right, that's
Okay.
number of total slices, right?
Okay.
That makes sense. Okay, okay.
That's what I was getting confused.
Yeah, because we are counting this number of slices, right? Either large or medium. So we need to add them together. So does it make sense, guys? Now, what was the question? We have 2 questions. What was the first question?
Number of slices of pizza per order.
Right. So we need to find the maximum number of slices of pizza. Maximum. So these are the possible ways to have the number of slices and the cost. And we are concerned about what is the maximum number of slices. Which one is the maximum slices here? Which one? 72 is the maximum, right? It's the greatest number. So we have 2 options. You can either buy 6 large pizzas, or you can buy 4 large and 3 medium. Either way, you can have the maximum number of 72 slices, right? What was the next question?
It's economical cost.
Right, the most economical cost, which means do you pay more or do you pay less? You don't want to pay so much for the same sizes, right? So you want to pay less. So which one between these two pay less? Top one. So you can have the maximum number of slices pizza in either case, but you don't want to pay more. So which one would you choose?
The 6 large pizzas.
The 6 large pizzas, right? Okay. And think about it. I mean, using common sense, if you have 6 large pizzas and you have 72 slices, even if we are disregarding the sizes, actually these 72 slices are slightly bigger than 4 large and 3 medium pizzas, right? So we have same slices, number of slices, but sizes are actually similar here, right? And we pay more here. So this is the best option, right? So problem like this, problem solving questions can vary. There's no, single way to solve it, right? That's why we just need to do a lot of practices. When you are solving the problems on your homework or quiz, you're gonna see something new there, and you can say that, oh, we didn't cover that in class. Well, we are covering in general, what problem solvings are. So we are not solving, specific example that's very similar to the homework problems, but in general, this is how we are solving the problems, okay? So don't say that we didn't do that in class, okay? Okay, we talked about that, and here's another question. Can I have someone else to read this out loud? Catherine?
How do you say her name is? Patricia.
I think so.
Patricia uses a rideshare service to travel to her local airport. Rideshare services use an app available on smartphones. Rideshare services have increasingly taken business away from the traditional taxi services. The total fare that Patricia is charged includes a base fee plus a mileage fee plus a time fee. The base fee is $5. The mileage fee is calculated at $1.10 per mile, and the time fee is calculated at 21 cents per minute. The distance Patricia will travel to the airport is 17 miles, and it will take 25 minutes to get there. Use this information to determine Patricia's total fare for using the rideshare service to travel to the airport.
Okay, thank you. A lot of information there, right? And a lot of important information there too. Sorry that you don't have anything to underline, but you can write down what is important information that you can use to solve this problem. So what is important information there? Let's look at the first sentence. Let's look at the sentence by sentence. First sentence, not so important, right? How about the second one? Rideshare services use an app available on the smartphone? Yes or no? No. Okay, rideshare services have increasingly taken business away from the transit taxi services. No. The total fare that Patricia is charged includes a base fee plus a mileage fee plus a time fee. So write that down. You can use the math symbol there, right? Like plus, you can use the plus symbol. So you can put total fare equals a base fee plus mileage fee plus time fee, right? You are adding all three. Let's look at the next sentence. The base fee is $5. So no matter how far or how many minutes you go, you have to pay $5. It's fixed, right? You need to understand that. The base fee is $5. So you can plug in base fee with $5 later, okay? The mileage fee is calculated at $1.10 per mile. What does that mean? So for 1 mile, if you go 1 mile, you pay $1.10. If you go 10 miles times 10, right? If you go 100 miles times 100, and so on and so on. So it depending on how many miles you go, right? So it can increase. How about the time fee? It is also important, right? But we need to write it down too. Time fee is calculated at 21 cents per minute. So 1 minute, you pay 21 cents. For 10 minutes, how much? If you write it for 10 minutes, $2.10, right? So you multiply that by 10, okay? So those are important information. And let's look at the next sentence. The distance Patricia will travel to the airport is 17 miles. So we are given the distance here. So it can be calculated for which fee? Base fee, mileage fee, or time fee? That's 17 miles. Mileage, so it's gonna be distance fee, right? How about this? It will take 25 minutes to get there. Which fee? The time fee, right? Because it's a time. Okay? So using this information, you need to determine for total fare. For total fare. I think this problem is easier than the previous one. Don't you think? tell me how you solve this problem. Very good.
I made an equation.
Okay. Like this. So let's put the information first. Okay. So total fare is equal to what? 5, which is base fee. Base fee plus mileage fee plus time fee. And I think Megan wants to put some numbers there. So base fee, $5. Mileage fee, how much mileage? $1.10 per mile, right? So $1.10 times mile. And time fee, how much? 21 cents per minute. So what goes here? The miles. What goes here? Minutes, right? So Reagan, what did you put in here?
I put 17.
17 because it takes 17 miles in 25 minutes. So does it make sense, guys? Okay, so we can now calculate the number. So $5 base fee and 110 times 17. What did you get? 110 times 17.
18.7.
18.7. And 0.21 times 25. What did you get?
$5.25.
$5.25. Okay. So everybody got this? Now you can just add it together. What is it?
$28.95.
There we go. Okay, does this make sense? Let's use our number sense, okay? So $5 and we pay about $20 and about $5, so about $30, right? And our answer is about $30 too. So it makes sense to us. So you can always check again by solving this problem again, right? Whether you are using calculator or solving by hands, okay? All right, good. How do you feel? Okay? Give me your thumb. Okay, thank you. All right, now let's give you another example. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Let me read this because the words are very small here. It is never too early to start planning for retirement. U.S. Census Bureau data indicate that at age 65, the average woman will live another 21 years. I think they live longer now. And the average man will live another 19 years after 65. The data also indicate that about 33% of the average person's retirement income will come from Social Security. When discussing retirement planning, many investment firms and financial planners use the graph here, which shows how long a typical retiree's assets will last based on the percentage of the assets withdrawn each year. So let's understand the graph first, okay? What does this mean? Here, the dark purple color. To interpret the graph, you need to understand what's going on here. So I will read the title first. Title says, how much you withdraw annually affects how long your money will last. So we understand how much you are withdrawing annually affects how long your money will last, right? Okay, so we are looking at vertical and horizontal axis. Vertical axis shows us percent of the assets withdraws annually. Okay, and so 4%, 5%, 6%, 7%, these percentage is the percent of assets withdrawn annually. How much you can withdraw each year. You can withdraw 4% of your asset, or you can withdraw 9% of the asset. Okay? And horizontal line is time money will last. So my money will last 33 years or 15 years, and so on and so on. This kind of makes sense to me because think about it. If you withdraw little bit from your asset, the money will last longer, right? So you can have longer years. If you withdraw so much, like 10%, then it will not last as long as 33 years, right? So it's gonna be shorter time there. So does it make sense? Okay. So we understand that graph first, and then let's read the questions. If a typical retiree has retirement assets, so our asset is given $500,000, how much can he or she withdraw annually if he or she wishes the assets to last 21 years? What is given to us? We are given the assets, right? And we are given 21 years of lasting money. So let's match that up. The asset to last 21 years, so we need to look at the number of years here. Which one shows 21 years? What color?
Orange.
The orange one, 6%, right? So we can, to make our asset to last 21 years, you need to choose 6%. 6% of what? 6% of assets. So you can have 6% of asset, which is 500,000, right? So how do we calculate that? 6% of 500,000. 6% of $500,000. Now we can change that to number and symbol. So 6%. What number is that? 6% means 6 per cent. Cents is 100, right? So 6 per 100, which is 6 per 100. In other words, that is 0.06, 600. Okay, that's what it means. We're going to talk about the percent later, but we already know about the percent, right? So 6% is same as 0.06 without the percent symbol. Of, you can change that to multiplication, 500,000. Or without the calculator, I'm going to rewrite this as 6 per 100, 600 times 500,000, and I can divide both numerator and denominator by 100. So I can have 6 times 5,000. That's the same thing. Are you following me? Okay, so what's 6 times 5,000? 30,000, right? But 6 times 5 is 30, and we have 30,000. So what is 30,000? That's how much you withdraw annually, right? When you want to have your asset last 21 years, right? Make sense? What's the second question then? How much should a retiree have in asset? Choose this one. How much should a retiree have in asset? Now we don't know how much asset we have, but that person wants to withdraw $25,000. $25,000 should be the withdrawn money to make it last 18 years. So we can take a look at 18 years, right? And we know the percent is there, which is 7%. So we're kind of going backwards, okay? So how would you solve this one? We know we know how much we are withdrawing. We are withdrawing 25,000 for 7% in 18 years. That is 7% of the asset, right? Of the asset. 7% of the asset is 25,000. So we are finding what that asset is. That is your X, isn't it? What's 7%? 7 per 100 of asset is 25,000. We're going backwards. Now to solve for X, what can we do? How can we solve for X? Trinity? You need to get rid of this, but how? This is multiplied. You can divide it by the same number, or you can multiply the reciprocal of that on both sides. Then what happens? 100 and 100 can be cancelled. 7 and 7 is cancelled. We have 1 times x, that is x. That's how you solve for x. Right? Okay, now what's on the right hand side? We have 2,500,000, which is, what is it, 2 million? One, two, three. So 2,500,000 divided by 7. Can anybody solve this for me? Is it calculator? What do you get?
I have 357,142.
I'll say that again. What is it?
357,142, and then 85 or 86 cents.
Something, something. Okay, so about. Did you say 335,700?
You're right.
Okay, about that. Okay, so about 35,700.
Oh, you need one more zero, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, this doesn't make sense to me. Oh, it does. I'm sorry. I was looking at this number. Okay, so let's use our number sense. So 7% of this will be about 25,000. So we're gonna have so much more number than this one, right? If we are taking 10% of that, it will be about 10% will be 35,000, right? And 7% should be less than 35,000, a little bit less. So it makes sense, right? 25,000 is a little less than 35,000. So it does make sense to me. Okay. To check your answer, you can resolve the same problem going backwards this time. So how about you do this way? 7% of asset is given, 357,000. See if it is closer to 25,000. Okay, we are checking this time. So let's see. 7% is 0.07 or 7/100 of times 357,000. Okay, so I'm gonna use this one this time. So I can divide both numerator and denominator by 100. And what is 7 times 300? 3,570. Is that about 25,000? It should be a little bit different because we rounded it here. It should be close. What's 7 times 3,570? What do you get? Let me use my calculator. So we have 7 times 3,570, and I have 24,990. Very close, isn't it? So our answer should be right because we approximated it here. We good? Are we good? Okay, any question? Okay, good, good. All right. Let's look at next example. Okay, determining tip. So this is very related to your life, right? Let's see this problem together. The cost of Shana's meal before tax is $28. This is pre-tax cost, okay, $28. If a 6.5% sales tax is added to her bill, what could be the total cost of the meal, including the tax? So that if Shana wants to, if Shana wants to leave 15% tip on the pre-tax cost of the meal, how much should she leave? Third, if she wants to leave a 20% tip on the pre-tax cost of the meal, how much should she leave? Okay, solve these three problems and I will randomly call your name and you need to come up and show me your work. I will walk around and if you need any help or anything to talk with me, grab me. Okay? Thank you. Let's write down the expression first. So for part A, if 6.5% sales tax is added to her bill, what could be the cost? So I want you guys to think about writing down the mathematical expression, something like this. This, right? Something like this. Okay. We know that 6.5% is the tax, right? So tax is depending on how much you are payment. So you need to have meal cost $28. So you can write this down first, right? So start from there. And how can you change that percent? This is 6.5 or 6.5%, right? Half is 0.5. To take away percent, what did we do? We did per 100, so divided by 100. You can rewrite that as divide this by 100. And you still have times 28. Divided by 100 makes the number greater or smaller using the number sense. You are dividing a number by 100. The number will get greater or smaller? Smaller by 2 digits. So you can move the decimal point to the right or left to make the number smaller. Show me your finger, which way? Smaller, yeah. So we can move the decimal point by 2. So this is where it goes, and then you can put another 0 there. So 0.065 is same as 6.5 over 100 or 6.5%, okay? Times 28. Now you can just multiply 0.065 times 28. You can use your calculator for that. What do you get?
$1.82.
$1.82. And what is this? Put that back in the context. What is this money? It's a tax, right? So this is the tax. But the question is asking you to determine the total cost of the meal, right? So what could be the total cost then? Total means you need to pay what you ate, which is $28 and the tax, right? Tax is $182. So the total should be $29.82. Does it make sense? Okay. The second one is 15% tip on the pre-tax, and the third one is 20% of the tip on the pre-tax. Let's consider those two. What's pre-tax money? What your bill was pre-tax? $28. And what is 15% of 28 is the question, right? And what is 20% of 28? Can you do this mentally? 15% of 28? Mentally?
Kind of.
Tell
I
me.
can do 20% mentally.
Say that again.
I can do 20% mentally, but.
Okay, let's go with this one first then.
So I take 10% of 28, which is 280.
I love that idea. So 10% of 28 is
$2.80.
$2.80. So 20% should be double of that.
$5.60.
Yeah, so $5.60, right? Using the same reason, you can do this one too. Does anybody have an idea how we can solve this mentally?
You do the exact same thing, except for instead of doing 20%, you do half of what it is. So that 5%.
Exactly. So we know that 10% of 28 is $2.80. 5% should be half of it, right? Half of that, which is $1.40. So 15% should be together $4.20, right? Okay, so you can solve that mentally as well. Are we good? Okay, good, good. That's very nice. Like this two thingy. Where did it go? Here we go. All right, so that's what we do. And I want you to think about this recipe. I think this will be the last problem due to the time. Okay, so this is a recipe for potato butt. What's potato butt? You like mashed potato? I don't know. Maybe similar. I don't know. You can make mashed potato and make flour with it. I don't know. But it sounds very similar to mashed potatoes. Maybe something similar. Anyways, for 2 servings, you need this much. So 2/3 cup of water, 2 tablespoons for milk, 1 tablespoon for butter or margarine, 1/4 teaspoon for salt, and then you can make 2/3 cup of potato bites, right? And for 4 servings, you need to have these much, and for 8 servings, you need to have these much of each ingredient. We understand what's going on. My question is, okay, so we are given this, but I want to make 6 servings instead of 2, 4, or 8 servings. How can I find 6 servings using only the givens here? Does anybody have an idea? Come on, we don't have much time.
You can divide the 2 servings in half, all the measurements, to get 1 serving, and then multiply that all by 6.
That's one idea, right? So you can find 1 serving by divide by 2 for each of these ingredients. Then multiply that by 6. That's one idea. I like it. Megan?
Couldn't you just multiply the 2 servings by 3?
You can multiply this by 3 as well. Then you can have 6 servings, right? Any other idea? Aubrey, do you have any idea? Does anybody have any different idea? You can add 2 and 4, 6, right? Or you can take away 2 from 8, you get 6. So there are several ways you can think about, right? So you can use them, but make sure you use the same unit, okay? So yeah, there are several ways. Let me just quickly talk about these magic squares for you to solve the problem. So magic square is when you are using all of these numbers 1 to 9, only once per square. Only per square. And the sum for the columns and the horizontal rows or diagonal has to be equal. Okay? Do you understand what the question is asking? So you are using these numbers 1 to 9 once, and you need to use all of the numbers. The sum for columns, rows, and diagonal has to be the same sum. What's the easiest way? Put the middle number, 5 in here. And my homework for you guys, complete this square, magic square, by Friday? Friday? Okay, by Friday. Your answer could be different from your friends. Okay? So complete this magic square by Friday. And homework section 1.3. Oh, we are. Okay, so that's the only homework. Alright? I will see you guys on Friday then.